The neon glow of the El Capitan Theater's marquee cut through the Los Angeles night like a Hollywood spotlight, drawing throngs of fans to Jimmy Kimmel Live's bustling studio lot, where the air hummed with the promise of celebrity sparkle and scripted snark. It was August 2025, and Mark Wahlberg, the Boston-bred powerhouse whose chiseled jaw and relentless work ethic had propelled him from boy band crooner to action hero icon, was the evening's marquee guest. Fresh off the red eye from a grueling press junket in Atlanta for his latest directorial venture, a gritty biopic on a forgotten 80s rocker titled Amped Up, Wahlberg arrived in a sleek black Escalade, his trademark trucker cap pulled low over eyes shadowed by jet lag and the faint stubble of a man who'd rather be on a film set than a talk show sofa. The crowd erupted as he emerged, broad-shouldered and beaming in a fitted gray Henley that showcased the gym-honed physique fans adored, high-fiving security guards and tossing casual waves that elicited squeals from clusters of admirers clutching faded Funky Bunch posters. Inside, the studio thrummed with pre-show energy, stagehands darting like shadows, the house band tuning up with a funky riff that nodded to Wahlberg's musical roots, and Jimmy Kimmel himself, tall, tousled, and ever the affable everyman, pacing backstage, scribbling last-minute zingers on a crumpled napkin. "Mark's a pro," Jimmy quipped to his writers, his Brooklyn-inflected drawl laced with the easy confidence of a host who'd survived Oscars monologues and Trump feuds. "But let's poke the bear a little, see if we can get him to bust out some good vibrations moves." The laughter echoed down the hall as Wahlberg was ushered to the green room, where a spread of protein shakes and grilled chicken awaited, a thoughtful touch from a production team that knew the actor's monastic discipline. Sipping his shake, Mark scrolled through his phone, liking fan edits of his latest trailer and firing off a quick text to wife Rhea, "Wrapping early, kids soccer tomorrow. Miss you." The door swung open, and in bounded Guillermo Rodriguez, Kimmel's beloved sidekick and security guard turned comic, brandishing a prop microphone like a lightsaber. "Senor Mark, you ready to fight me? Or just dance?" Guillermo's exaggerated accent and playful jabs broke the ice, drawing a booming laugh from Wahlberg, who obliged with a mock shadowbox, his fists blurring in a flurry that had the room howling. "Guillermo, you're the only one who can take me. Rhea says I pull punches at home." The camaraderie flowed like pre-show champagne, easing Mark into the mindset of the night. Promote the film, share a laugh, keep it light amid the relentless promo grind. As the on-air light flickered to life, the audience settled into their seats, a mix of wide-eyed tourists and industry hopefuls, buzzing with whispers of "Mark's gonna crush it" and "Jimmy's got that killer bit ready." The theme music swelled, horns blaring triumphantly, and Jimmy sauntered out to thunderous applause, his suit jacket slung over one shoulder in casual defiance of broadcast norms. "Welcome to Jimmy Kimmel Live. Tonight, we've got the one, the only, Mark Wahlberg." The cheers peaked as Mark bounded on stage, enveloping Jimmy in a bear hug that lifted the host an inch off the ground, the duo's genuine rapport evident in the crinkle of Jimmy's eyes and the slap on the back that resounded like a drumbeat. Plopping onto the curved guest couch, Mark crossed his legs with the ease of an old friend, the set's warm blues and silvers casting a flattering halo around his salt and pepper temples. Jimmy kicked off with the basics. "Mark, you're looking ripped, as always. What's the secret? Steroids or just hating every vegetable on the planet?" The crowd chuckled, and Wahlberg fired back with a grin. "Nah, Jimmy, it's 4 a.m. workouts and praying my kids don't wake up mid-burpee." The rhythm was perfect, the interview unfolding like a well-oiled machine, Mark regaling tales from the Amped Up set, like the time he accidentally set a vintage amp ablaze during a take, flames licking the air as crew scattered like startled roadies. I yelled, "Cut," but the fire was method acting, intense, right? Jimmy leaned in, his timing impeccable, method acting. "Mark, we all know your method. Remember that time you lived as a monk for The Departed? Did you confess your sins to Scorsese?" The audience roared, loving the callback to Wahlberg's storied intensity, and Mark nodded along, his laughter rich and unforced, the exchange a testament to two men who'd navigated fame's fickle tides with grit and guile. Yet, as the segment deepened into personal territory, Jimmy teasing Mark's early New Kids days with a clip of a cringy 90s dance routine, the air began to thicken, subtle shifts in posture hinting at the undercurrents of ego and expectation that simmered beneath the surface polish. Mark's smile held, but his fingers drummed the couch arm, a tic born of boardrooms and box office battles, while Jimmy's eyes gleamed with the thrill of the tease, unaware that this playful prod was about to ignite a firestorm. The commercial break loomed, but the real show was just beginning, the stage set for a collision of Hollywood's tough guy archetype and late night's razor wit. Post-break, The studio lights snapped back to full blaze, the audience's applause a tidal wave as Jimmy segued seamlessly from a quirky field piece on Law's weirdest food trucks to Wahlberg's corner of the couch, where Mark sat nursing a bottle of Fiji water, his posture now a touch more rigid, like a fighter sizing up the ring. Co-guests, a bubbly TikTok comedian named Zara Quinn with her rainbow-dyed braids and a grizzled indie director, Elias Crow, nursing a tumbler of what smelled suspiciously like whiskey, flanked him, their presence meant to diffuse the spotlight but adding layers to the dynamic. Zara, all kinetic energy and viral catchphrases, jumped in first. "Mark, your biopic looks fire. That trailer had me ugly crying over guitar strings, teach me your emotional ninja moves." Her enthusiasm was infectious, drawing a genuine chuckle from Wahlberg as he leaned forward, elbows on knees, recounting the raw vulnerability of channeling the rocker's descent into addiction. "Zara, it's not ninja, it's real. I spent weeks in dive bars, talking to ghosts of the scene. Lost 15 pounds just from the heartbreak." Elias nodded sagely, his salt-streaked beard twitching in approval. "Respect, man. Directing's war, your lens on that era. Brutal poetry." The panel gelled in that moment, a triangle of talents trading war stories, the crowd eating it up with murmurs of, "He's so down to earth," rippling through the rows. Jimmy, perched on his desk like a conductor, orchestrated the flow with deft interjections. "Mark, from NKOTB to Noir, it's like if I went from Crenshaw to the CIA. Speaking of, I've got footage from your boy band vault that'll make you blush." The screen behind them flickered to life, projecting a grainy VHS clip of a teenage Mark, all baggy jeans and boyish bravado, gyrating through "Please Don't Go Girl," with synchronized flair that bordered on farce. The studio detonated in laughter, Zara doubling over and Elias slapping his thigh, while Jimmy milked the moment. "Look at those moves. Mark, were you trying to seduce the camera or just escape it?" Wahlberg joined the mirth at first, shaking his head with self-deprecating gusto. "Jimmy, that's ancient history, blame Donnie for the choreography." But as the clip looped into a blooper reel, Mark tripping over a mic stand, his youthful face crumpling in embarrassment, the laughter grated, the host's follow-up slicing deeper. "Come on, Mark, own it. Without that, no, Boogie Nights, you're basically the patron saint of second chances. Or third, fourth, how many comebacks we up to now?" The words landed like a sucker punch, the audience's chuckles faltering into awkward silence, sensing the pivot from playful to pointed. Zara's smile froze mid-grin, Elias shifting uncomfortably as if his chair had grown thorns, but Mark's expression hardened, his jaw setting in that unmistakable Wahlberg clench, the one that had stared down mobsters on-screen and paparazzi off. "Comebacks. Jimmy, that's reductive. I've built an empire, films, production, family, on grind, not gimmicks. You gonna roast my faith next? Or the fact I wake at dawn while you're cracking wise at midnight?" The retort hung heavy, the studio's AC humming louder in the sudden chill, Jimmy's eyebrows arching in mock surprise that didn't reach his eyes. "Whoa, easy, killer, it's just banter. But hey, Dawn patrols. More like dodging tabloid Dawn raids after that Wahlburgers scandal, right? Beef with your brothers over burgers." The jab referenced a long-buried family feud over the fast food chain, dredged up for shock value, and the crowd gasped collectively, a few phones slipping out to capture the unraveling. Mark's knuckles widened around his water bottle, the plastic crinkling audibly over the mics, his Boston accent thickening with ire. "That's low, Jimmy. My family's off limits. Rhea, the kids, the brothers, we're solid. You wanna talk rude, inviting me to peddle my flick then turning it into a roast of my life." Zara attempted a lifeline. "Guys, let's pivot to Zara's viral dance challenge. Mark, join me." But her voice squeaked into the void, Elias muttering a noncommittal, "Deep cuts, man," under his breath. Jimmy, unflinching, leaned back with a disarming shrug. "Mark, this is TV, everything's fair game. Lighten up, it's not like you're playing Rocky here." The implication, that Wahlberg's toughness was performative, ignited the fuse, Mark's face flushing crimson under the lights, his voice dropping to a gravelly timbre honed in Dorchester streets. "Fair game. I've taken real hits, addiction, loss, the grind of proving I'm more than a pretty face. This is lazy." The exchange crackled with authenticity, the audience transfixed, whispers of, "Is this real?" buzzing like static. Crew in the booth exchanged glances, the director's hand hovering over the commercial button, but the train had derailed, hurtling toward explosion as Mark's chair scooted back incrementally, his body coiling like a spring. Jimmy pressed, ever the provocateur. "Lazy? Nah, it's love, tough love. Or are you too method to handle a mirror?" The line blurred satire and sincerity, the host's grin masking a glint of genuine challenge, while Wahlberg's eyes narrowed, the weight of decades in the machine bearing down in that suspended beat before the break. The commercial fade never came swiftly enough, the tension a live wire snapping across the set as Wahlberg's laugh, short, sharp, devoid of humor, sliced the air, the audience's earlier glee curdling into a collective intake of breath, phones now fully deployed like tiny sentinels chronicling the carnage. Mirror. Jimmy, I've stared down worse than your desk. Afghanistan embeds for lone survivor, burying friends, rebuilding from rock bottom. You think a clip and a cheap shot undo that? Mark's words tumbled out, laced with the raw edge of a man who'd scripted his redemption arc in sweat and scripture, his faith a quiet anchor now roiling like a storm-tossed sea. Jimmy, his casual slouch evaporating into upright alertness, countered. With a raised palm, the host's voice steady but threaded with defensiveness, Mark, come on, it's comedy, not combat. But if we're bearing souls, what's the real beef? The Ted jokes. Or that time you ghosted my invite for years. The revelation, a personal slight aired publicly, drew ooze from the crowd, Zara's eyes widening like saucers, Elias sinking deeper into the cushions as if willing invisibility. Wahlberg's response was visceral, his broad frame rising halfway from the seat, veins corded in his forearms like ropes under strain. Ghosted. I was building, Fleming Street, unearthed, a life beyond cameos in your bare suit. Respect the hustle, or don't waste my time. The studio pulsed with the standoff's gravity, the house band's drummer idly tapping a rim shot that fell flat, the sound guy's levels spiking erratically as mics caught every heated syllable. Jimmy, cornered yet composed, fired a parting volley, hustle. Sure, from Marky Mark to Mr. Mom, adorable, but storming off won't sell tickets, pal. The gauntlet metaphorically thrown, Wahlberg surged to his feet, the couch springs groaning in protest, his exit a thunderclap of purposeful strides toward the wings, pausing only to clasp Zara's hand in apology. Sorry, kid, keep dancing, and nod curtly to Elias, who offered a thumbs up shadowed by sympathy. The audience's reaction splintered, half applauding the drama like a WWE heel turn, the other half murmuring dismay. He didn't have to go nuclear, floating amid the din. Jimmy called after him, mic in hand, doors open. Mark, don't let it hit you on the way to your private jet. The quip elicited polite titters, but the energy had shattered, the host waving to commercial with a forced chuckle. Well, folks, that's Hollywood, more plot twists than a Scorsese flick. Backstage, chaos reigned, producers swarming Wahlberg's path with iPads aglow, his publicist trailing like a comet tail. Mark, we can spin this, exclusive with Variety. But he brushed past, exhaling sharply in the dim corridor, the adrenaline crash hitting like post-fight fog, muttering to his assistant, call Rhea, tell her I'm heading home early. This town's lost its damn mind. Meanwhile, on set, Jimmy pivoted to a solo bit on viral cat videos, his grin a professional mask, though off-camera he confided to Guillermo, kids got fire, ratings gold, but oof. The interwebs erupted pre-credits, X ablaze with hashtag Wahlberg walkout trending globally, clips dissected in real time, the chair scoot at 4:32, Jimmy's shrug at 5:19, fueling armchair analyses from TMZ to The Ringer. Pundits weighed in, entertainment vets lauding Jimmy's edgy authenticity, Wahlberg loyalists decrying hostile ambush, while Zara's TikTok exploded with a post-show duet recreating the tension in dance form. In the days that followed, apologies trickled, Jimmy's on-air mea culpa laced with humor. Mark, come back, I'll buy the burgers, met Wahlberg's gracious IG story of family beach time, captioned, real wins greater than real fights. Yet the incident lingered as a cultural bookmark, a raw snapshot of fame's double bind, vulnerability prized until it pricks, banter a blade that cuts both ways. For Wahlberg, it reaffirmed his fortress of family and faith. For Kimmel, a reminder that even kings of quips tread thin ice. In the end, the storm-off humanized the machine, turning a promo plug into a mirror for us all. In the glare of the lights, we're all just souls scrambling for the last word, the final laugh, the dignified dash to the door.